Welcome back to another episode.
Yo, what is going on? Oh my gosh. This is absolutely nuts, bro. I got so much going on. So much going on. Trying to put, don't be too mad at me. Okay, don't be too mad at me. Trying to put my oldest down to sleep. He want to stay up past bedtime. He BSing around. Then, you know what I mean? That gets pushed back, whatever. He finally go to sleep at like, I don't know, 8:45, between 8:45 and 9. So then I'm like, okay, cool. Let me set the show. Let me push it back to like 9:45, 9:30, 9:45. So then because you got late early. So I'm laying there, putting everything together. That's when I'm able to like get all my information that I want to bring to the episode together, bring it all together, get my thumbnail ready, all that other stuff. Then, he's still kind of squirming and moving. I'm like, all right, bro, 9:45. It hit like 9:30. Next thing you know, I'm like, all right, I'm finna come out and check on the newborn. Now that the oldest is asleep. Bro, next thing you know, I say, all right, I'm coming down to check on the newborn. Bro, I fall asleep. Next you know, it's 10 o'clock. I'm like, dog, what is going on? Then I wake up at 10 o'clock. My newborn he's needing attention. And then I got to get him situated for wifey to make sure that he's nice and good to go, ready to eat, go to bed for the night. So here we are after all of that chaos, but we made it. Okay, we made it. I do apologize. Let me lift my chair up some. Oh, it is. Maybe I need to let my desk down some. I do apologize, but we made it. We made it. I appreciate y'all for joining. Welcome back to another Yappisode. This is the Daily Yap. I am your host, Jay the Yapper. I am so glad you all joined. We got quite a bit to talk about tonight. A lot going on. Like a lot is going on. And so before we get into it, make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in, whether you're on your way in, on your way out, or if you're watching a replay tomorrow, hit the like button. Hit the sub button as well. We're on the road to 25,000 subs. So, my fault, 26. We just hit 25,000 subs. We're on our way to 26K now. And I appreciate all the support along the way as usual. If you want to support the channel, there are many different ways to do so. You can always go to buymeacoffee.com. You can find JD Yapper 1 over there. You can become a member of the channel. You can become a member of the Yap community, get invited into the Yap family, because we got a lot in store, obviously, for the members as well. And then also you can find me on all social media platforms, I think outside of Facebook and Instagram. I don't know. It's another conversation, but you can follow both TikTok channels. You can see it below and all that other stuff. So you can support in many different ways. TikTok, X, YouTube, we everywhere. The Yap community is growing. I was on a Yap space. I said a Yap space. Hey, that ain't that bad of an idea. I like the way that ring. I was on an X space last night. And I typically listen in X spaces, but this time I joined the X space as like a speaker. It was hosted by Mystic, who is one of Black Line Briefs' mods and stuff like that, and great people, and always been great people. And I joined, and so we was talking over there late last night on X, between like 11:30 and 1 o'clock. So like that was pretty cool. That might start happening in the future. I still got to get used to all that other stuff with the X spaces and all of that. But I found it pretty interesting. I was like, I might start doing that, every now and then, because it is a lot. So, a lot in store. But without further ado, I do want to get into some of the content that we got tonight. Well, I guess all the content that we have tonight, because we got a lot to talk about, bro. Oh my gosh. I mean, I woke up yesterday and I actually had a plan the day before. Y'all know that the last episode we had Nick Brooks on. And he was a California lawyer. He came on here, gave his kind of legal perspective side of the things with Candace and Brian Harbaugh, Tyler Robinson, and the Charlie Kirk case. So if you haven't watched that yet, it is up on the channel still, so you can go watch that. I thought it was a great conversation. I am somebody that is always open to like both sides of the aisle, regardless of whatever, just to hear different perspectives and hear the other side. So his channel, he was up on the other night for the episode, and that was really last minute because we had a lot to talk about that night too. But next thing you know, I woke up today and I was like, all right, we got to make sure this was a solo episode today because so much has gone on. And next thing you know, I see this group chat being exposed over on X of these people coordinating these different attacks on people, doxing people, attacking individuals, and releasing their government names, kids' pictures. X is a very toxic place. Okay, very toxic place. It is. You got to be careful over there because these people go from oh, you think something's wrong with Erica, you find her weird, or you don't think Tyler Robinson did it. You got all of these different other theories. Boom, government name, kids. Here's where you work at. You're evil. You're demonic. It go from 0 to 100 real mother freaking quick, bro. And it's crazy because I just have never ever seen this type of beef before. Beef before. That's not at all. I'm not used to people jumping straight into your family over internet conversations. Like, y'all get where I'm coming from. It's not like a personal beef. You know what I mean? Personal beef is like, okay, personal beef is going to be, personal things is going to happen. You might get your personal information leaked. Dog, all we talking about is the Charlie Kirk case. And folks is trying to figure out what happened. I don't believe the narrative. Oh, you do? Okay, cool. I think Erica's weird. Boom. Okay, well, look at all your kids. What? So, y'all know me. I definitely say what's on my mind often, but when it comes to X, I tread lightly. You know what I mean? Especially with like the personal attacks, because I know how people can get down over there. I mean, this week alone, what's today? Wednesday? Maybe in the last 2 weeks alone, bro, I've seen at least 4, 5, 6 government names with folks' kids on the internet and they real occupations. I'm like, dog, that's crazy. That's psychotic, I don't know how many of y'all are fans of the Leah Files. I know, because the ones that know that she was supposed to be on the episode months ago. And we trying. Okay, we got bigger fish in the sea when it comes to this podcast world, because she is a very popular lady, not in the Tyler Boyer sense of saying it in that fruity way, but she is a popular lady. So it's hard. It's hard. All right. She's about to be on Sean Ryan, all of these platforms. So, just gotta wait our turn. Okay. Because at the end of the day, all social media, a lot of people are not getting paid, including myself. A lot of us are not getting paid like full-time, social media to really put a lot of stuff aside to, really lock in. We do what we can. So I understand that completely. So when it comes to the collabs, I'm like, dude, I appreciate any amount of your time because I ain't got nothing for you. Now, Sean Ryan and all these other platforms, they may got a little fee they can throw. If they don't, that's another conversation. But it's hard to do all of that. So one day, Leah will be on a episode. She's great, people. Love her to death, love her content. we stay in touch. She checks in, and so when I saw her get doxxed the other day by, I don't even know who it was. It was just sad, man. It was just sad because I'm like, bro, what are we doing? And this came from her just being announced of being on Sean Ryan's show. That was it. She's gonna be on Sean Ryan's show. It got announced. Next thing you know, boom, family, where she work at or used to work at, whatever, full name. I was like, dog, what? Where are we at as a country, as a society, when somebody announces that they're gonna do something huge in their life? And you got, I guess that's normal, bro. You always gonna have people praying on your downfall. You always gonna have people that just can't wait for the moment to ruin your shine. And it's just sad because the X space is just that. If she didn't have X, this would have never happened. It's just X. TikTok is toxic, but TikTok, like if you get to the bad side of TikTok, but TikTok is good with filtering your content to the people who actually support you and rock with you. It's rare to like always be pushed to the bad side of the algorithm with TikTok. If you have a crazy take, that's one thing, but in general, X, bro, I just feel like they allow everybody from all sides to see your content, knowing they don't rock with you. TikTok can be petty sometimes, but X all the time. So I feel bad, that she had to go through what she was going through. Then she was going through some personal things as well with her family. And now on top of all of that, now you got these folks on the internet dropping these personal things. So it's absolutely diabolical seeing all that other stuff. But I brought that up to say there's a coordinated group effort that are doing these things. And it was exposed today by someone that is a very interesting, I don't want to say character, but an interesting individual to this Charlie Kirk story or investigation or this space in general, because she at one point used to be on the other side, as in, Erica, TPUSA, defending them. She was in these group chats, and then I guess she got fed up and decided to out everybody. And I remember when I first followed her, and that was because I saw she was already following me, and then I think I saw a couple of her tweets, and she was talking about being done with Gary and everybody, and she was like, I can't fully get on board with Candace, but that side of the aisle makes way more sense than TPUSA and Gary and blah, 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 all that other stuff. So I follow her because once she was already following me, and then I was like, oh, okay, like I'm loving this like deconstructing phase of like, you've been manipulated and brainwashed by the Fed slop, and now she's coming to the good side. So we've been interacting every now and then, in all good ways, but she's the one that ended up exposing this group chat today. So I want to pull it up because I know y'all tired of me yapping. I'll make it say coming same. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm pulling it up. I just forgot to look at the comments before I start diving right into the content. So I apologize. I thought he said 9 p.m. was better. I guess he was trying to figure out the best time. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. 9 p.m. I thought worked the best, but then I'm realizing that my son sometimes be BSing around, and he's not sleep on time. So I didn't really factor that in, but I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just glad y'all got your notifications on and y'all ready. Anyone feel a little let down by the lack of new material, maybe the lack of energy during Candace's last couple of shows, or maybe it's just me? It's not just you, not based from like my own personal opinion, because usually I'm able to catch up on her episodes after a Yappisode, unless something crazy happens, and then y'all usually hit in the comments and y'all are like, bro, pull up this part of her show. Outside of that, I usually catch up on it, afterwards, like the whole thing in full. But I have heard some things online of people saying the same thing, and I'm gonna pull up a tweet I saw today about that, and they were getting absolutely drilled in the comments for saying that same thing, and it's crazy because it's not fair at all to do that for somebody that's just has their own opinion, and they're just trying to figure out, hey, does anybody else feel the same way? So you're not alone, Shelly. You're not alone. Okay. I'm not sure what the community post thing is, but I posted in there too. Jay, your Candace 4K secret footage made top 10% of all hype videos. Hey, I didn't even know that. Thank you for telling me. I had no idea. I had no idea. All right, let's get into it. I'm gonna make sure so I can see what y'all saying. All right, so here's the lady right here. Shady Lady Katie. All right, so she's been saying a lot of stuff. She's been going in. She's been exposing everybody in these last couple of days, and so I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is crazy, and so let me pull up this group chat because she has so many different things. I'm gonna pull up this one,
and there's something.
All right. So look at some of these names. This is a coordinated group chat to essentially push Fetslop. Fetslop protecting the widow and all types of BS. I think the group chat was called Protecting Mrs. Kirk, which is so weird. But I want to put up this group chat in the members of it, and I want y'all to look at it to see if you can identify anybody in here that has personally maybe attacked you or been in your comments or all of that, because a lot of these individuals, I was like, oh, I've seen you before. No wonder you're always in my comments pushing some type of slop. And hopefully let me know if y'all see these names perfectly fine, because on my end, like, it looks like a little blob, but it could look totally different on y'all's TV or phone. But let me know, thumbs up, yes, whatever, if y'all can see the members' names on the screen so I can go through them. No? Okay. Too small? A little tiny blob. Okay. All right. I think, let's see. I got an idea. It's all good. I'm prepared for backup. I believe Elizabeth Lane posted a screenshot of these people. Yep. Perfect. Too small. You can see. All right, it's mixed. It's mixed, so it's all good. I'm gonna pull up. Both of them in a different way. Okay. Here is one screenshot. Okay. Here we go. Everybody good? Can you see? Is this better? Yes, thumbs up. Before I get through them or go through them, because this is very interesting to me. I've been wondering for a while, who are these people? Where did you come from? Why are you always in my comments? Why are y'all always saying the same thing? Yes, okay. So if y'all see a name on here that you are familiar with, please let me know. But I'll definitely point out the ones that I have seen personally in my comments and always saying stuff. So I'm gonna go through the ones I have seen. I have seen this guy right here. This guy right here is so annoying. When I see his page, I just Bren, I think that says. I've seen him. I've seen Bronson. Oh my gosh, Mid Gray. Mid Gray is always he she I don't know used to always be in my comments just arguing just to argue. I'm like, bro, y'all can't be real right now, man. Like y'all can't be real, but you're not real. Mid Gray used to annoy me. I've seen Piper before, I believe, not that much. Oh, I've seen her before. Claire Patriot. I've seen Claire Patriot before. Very same thing. Widow Warrior, Shalami Soldier, Insurrection Barbie. I've seen this. I literally just saw her maybe yesterday, the day before. Jane Doe, you know. Yep. Let me go through the next screenshot. And mind you, this is about 90 something people. Let me pull up. All right, here is the next screenshot. It's really insane because if Tyler Robinson just lone gunman on the roof, the gay man decided to wake up and drive 3 hours to do this, then why is there a coordinated group effort to push slop? Here we are again with some more. We have this guy right here. We all know Paramount Tactical. Melissa Tate, I've seen her before. Social distancing champ, I've seen this person so many times. They are very annoying. I've seen the Jay Witt podcast. Oh my gosh, this guy is probably more annoying than Lisa, and he doesn't even make videos. He just tweets. And his rage baiting skills are top tier. This Jay guy. He's been he kind of slowed down. I think I acknowledged him one time and he ain't said nothing to me ever since. But this guy right here is just, oh my gosh. He is probably the strongest widow warrior of them all on the male side. Sarcastic Liberty, I've seen her. Haven't personally interacted with her, but I've seen her. Oh, we all know who this is. Absolutely not surprised. Lisa knows. Oh, yeah. This is another one. I feel like everybody in the chat has probably interacted with this person before, or maybe interacted, maybe saw her tweets, saw her responding, saw her pushing slop. Like she's also up there with the Widow Warriors. And Perfectly Perfect. I've saw this before. Oh yeah, she is constantly in my comments. Oh my gosh, this person is too, whoever this is. Constantly in my comments. And some of these people bounce back and forth to different platforms to my TikTok as well and pushing slop in there. Oh my gosh. I've interacted with her before once or twice. She is racist. She would get down dirty. Gina Milan, Paramount Tactical again. So, y'all see it right here. It's ridiculous. This whole coordinated group effort to push whatever, man. It's weird, to be honest, because it's like, why do you have to do all of that? Someone said, check out the admin name. Let me see if I can find it. And the title, the title of the group chat, or I guess you can call it that, the group chat name is called Protecting Mrs. Kirk. Let's see. Steph Medical? Wait. Steph Medical, right? That's I'm looking at the admin profile right here. Let me pull it up big. You see it right here. Stealth Medical. Let's see what it says. Stealth Medical. Oh, I feel like she on a space right now too. Jeremy Boring. Oh, she not talking about nothing. The flag in their bio. What flag? She must have took it out. She must have took it out. 101K followers. I mean, if she's pushing Jeremy Boring content, I think that's all I need to know. Nobody in their sane mind would be pushing Jeremy Boring content. So I have an idea. If she moved the flag already, they took it out. It was a blue and white flag. Yeah, I figured then. Yeah, that would check out. That would make sense and check out. And she's the person that put it together. I feel like I've heard her talk one time. She was on a space with Paramount Tactical, and it was just annoying. I think that was one of the nights we was live on a Yappisode too. She was just talking. Yep, that is her. I remember that profile picture. She was just talking. I'm like, bro, who is this person? And why is everybody allowing her to talk for so long about absolutely nothing? But that's because she's the leader of the group chat. That's crazy. They so dumb. They are. I mean, this exposes them for exactly what it is. You know what I mean? Like, they have been accused of putting a group together. And actually, I just saw somebody tweet that out too. Let me pull that up. Somebody was like, well, this is directly correlated with Gary's thing that he was exposed with, as far as remember he was like, oh, I'm working with a group. He was talking to Chat GPT. He was like, I'm working with a group to fight this oh my gosh. It's misinformation, but I think he worded it something else though. Disinformation, that's what he said. All right. Yeah, look at this right here. Let me pull it up bigger. Yeah, so like, look what he got caught exposing. I remember this back in June. If I am working collectively with a group to fight disinformation, is it misinformation? I can't be tripping on that. And lies on X and other social media groups provide tactics and techniques to use to boost each other's messages to better utilize the algorithm and capitalize on established social media strategies. Also list what not to do. So this got exposed in June and everybody was like, what? And I remember I put out a tweet and I was like, I hit up Lisa Knows and I tagged her and I was like, you wouldn't happen to be a part of this group, would you? She never replied, obviously. But that's exactly what this is coordinated to, or correlated to, because that is an actual group chat of people on there pushing slop. And the fact that they named it Protecting Erica Kirk is diabolical. And so, I mean, I don't know. I feel like everybody in that chat, if you saw their name on there, if you've interacted with any of them out of the 90 something people that was in that chat, you just shouldn't take them serious anymore. Like we know exactly who you are for what you are. I stopped interacting with Lisa a while ago. I'm like, bro, it's just not. I might throw her on here for Donkey of the Day every now and then, which we got to get back to. But as far as like taking them serious, I'm like, no, bro, I just don't, because it's a disingenuous conversation, and you're not a good faith, you know what I mean, actor. So it's like I can't entertain you whatsoever. It's draining entertaining you. The reason that Lisa was on a Yappisode way back then is because I didn't even really know who she was for real. Like, I didn't even know what this was as far as her being correlated or connected to Gary Melton and they're paid to push certain things. I had no idea. I was just like, bro, why is this person always bothering me on TikTok? Like, this was early days on YouTube too. I was like, bro, this person is always in my comments on TikTok, and also making reaction videos, and I'm always on her TikTok. She's responding to what my video is. I'm like, bro, who is this and why is she so committed to my content? So I made a couple of videos right back, and that's when I was like, bro, I'm not finna keep doing this back and forth stuff. Like, who are you and why are you so invested in what I gotta say? And so that's why I brought her on the episode one time for that open conversation. And I mean, it was crazy. You know, y'all saw it. It was insane. But again, I just had no idea that I'm like, this conversation was gonna go nowhere. 2 hours in is gonna go nowhere because no matter what I say, you're gonna say it doesn't matter, and you're here to push whatever side you pushing on. So that's why I was telling Baze that one night we was on. I was like, bro, I can't have a conversation with Gary. I can't have a conversation with Paramount Tactical at all. I know he had that debate with him and all that. I'm like, I just can't, bro, because these people are liars. I don't want to bring them on my on this platform and allow them to, like, bring that energy into the Yap community for what? Not saying like, oh, I'm just rejecting Gary. I'm this big old person. Y'all know what I mean? Like, I just would never even reach out and just like put them on here and just straight start spewing lies and BS. You're not entering the conversation with an open mind and listening to what I'm saying and actually considering what I'm saying is true. You just dismiss it and you want to push your own thing. I'm like, no, I don't want that, bro. Like, it's a pointless conversation. I don't see you as a good person outside of the internet either, because look at what you're paid to do, bro. Like, that honestly would piss me off. Like, let's just say I called Gary offline and he was a chill person. That pissed me off, bro. 'Cause I'm like, so you got an internet personality, bro? You internet tough guy. I just can't do it. And so, speaking of, somebody else is fed up with Gary. And I want to put a disclaimer out there, preface this part of the show. I cannot find the clean version of this. I know Coach Colin, I think Coach did have a clean version. So but I just also don't want to hear all the beeps. So I guess I'm gonna ask y'all. Nate Valhalla VFT. I'm sorry. He went absolutely in on Gary. And I want to play it, but I just want to make sure everybody is comfortable with a lot of foul language. Okay. So please, if you're cool with it, just say thumbs up or, thumbs up. Yes. Let me know. I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable because I know, a lot of people are in the Yap community and a lot of people play the podcast on TVs, cars. So if you got family, kids, or kids around, you know what I mean, cover your ears because he goes in right here. Yes, it's fine. We're all grown. Play it. Kids asleep. All right, cool. Let's get to it then.
You know what?
Let me make sure this one's it right here.
If you guys haven't noticed, ass war heroes that are all fucking full of shit. They have no credibility behind top 4 months. Remember, let's talk about this. Let's say this
Okay.
like a fucking fight 5 days.
All right, I found it. All right, so I don't know what Gary specifically said to piss Nate off. No clue. But they're both Green Berets. They both got this military background, so they're supposed to both kind of have like this respect for each other. And Gary has been kind of throwing everybody under the bus. I mean, I wouldn't say under the bus, but disrespecting everybody online. This is what I'm talking about, the internet personalities. Like, oh, I'm paid to call these people stupid and liars and all these other stuff. But he's only just paid to do it. But if apparently he has a reputation of talking to him offline, he doesn't act this way. So he's internet tough. And so Nate has not really said anything about Gary this entire time. I've always wondered what he thought about him because, they both have military experience. So when Nate is replicating the crime scene and doing ballistics tests, but then Gary reacts to all of Nate's videos and he's discrediting everything Nate does. I've always wondered, what does that do to Nate's mental? Because I'm like, that's insane. He's like blatantly lying on his channel and discrediting Nate for his expertise on these things. But apparently Gary called him a liar of some sort. I don't know what he lied about, but it really pissed Nate off. So someone said, I have to know the story. Okay, what's the story? Nate told Elizabeth Lane that Gary talked trash about him online, then apologized behind closed doors, and Gary called Nate a liar. Okay, there it is. And here is Nate responding.
Okay, so
the regular version is so much better than the bleep, the beeps and bleeps that Coach Colin played earlier. Don't get me wrong, it's funny hearing beep beep. It's like a TV show, but you got to hear the passion in Nate right here because he is fed up.
If you guys haven't noticed, over the last 7 months, Nate gets attacked nonstop, non-fucking stop on X. I don't have X. By some very specific people who also attacked Joe Kent, who also attacked Candace Owens, who also attacked Ian Carroll. We all know who they are, right? Right? We all know who they are. And they're fucking Green Berets, right? A couple little cocksucker fucking Green Berets who pretend like they're badass war heroes that are all fucking full of shit. They have no credibility behind them. And they constantly want to attack Nate. And the problem is Nate is very respectful of the Green Beret community. You all know that. My dad's a Green Beret. And so what I don't want to ever do is devolve into what they're doing and bring negative attention to the Green Beret community. But I can only get shit talked to me for so long. I'm sick and tired of this. And I got called a liar today. And we all know who I'm going to talk about. Gary Melton, Paramount fucking Tactical, right? You know what? Gary, you've been fucking attacking me non-fucking stop for months.
I know this is not like a laughing matter right now. I just want to say, side note, I absolutely love when like people like Nate, or come on, we're all grown here, so please understand what I'm saying and have with an open heart. I absolutely love when like white people get very pissed and they get into like this type of mood where they cuss so smooth, like you absolute effing cocksucker, like. Bro, it is so funny. It's so funny because it's so smooth, and they just say the things that are just like, oh my gosh. So the entire time I'm probably gonna laugh. I'm not gonna lie. Very serious moment for Nate, but I'm gonna be laughing over here. I'm just letting y'all know now.
I've never said a fucking word back to you because I actually respect the Green Beret community. I don't attack fellow Green Berets. Even Matt Tardio, who's my friend, has publicly apologized for even doing fucking content with you. Publicly apologized, privately apologized to me for even sharing the same fucking camera as you because you're such a little piece of shit. But which
Bro, for even sharing the same effing camera as you little pieces. Bro, this is hilarious.
You did game fucking camera apologize to me for even sharing the same fucking camera as you because you're such a little piece of shit. But what you did, Gary, today is you called me a liar. Oh, Liz. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Should we just get Liz in here? All right, she's gonna lie. She wants me to wait, but I can't wait now. We're too far down. We're just gonna do it. All right. So here's the thing. Liz is gonna log in and watch because Liz knows because she's been massively attacked. So here's the thing. Let me give some context here. I have been, you guys know, so fucking respectful while these little cocksuckers have attacked me nonstop, called me fake Green Beret when I have fucking way more impressive fucking Special Forces resume than they do. They don't have fucking Valorant combat awards. They don't have any of the shit I have. I don't fucking talk about this, but I'm so fucking sick and tired of listening to these little fucking cocksuckers talk shit about people like me and Joe Kent who have infinitely more impressive resumes than they do. All right. And again, you guys know I don't do this, but I'm just fucking sick of it. I'm sick of just watching them talk nonstop shit to me when I mind my own fucking business. All I do is I go out, I do ballistic tests, right? And I do scientific studies and all this different shit, trying to like bring up, and what do? They do panels, right? Trying to debunk everything I say when they have no credibility, by the way, by themselves. And I finally hit a fucking break point with these little cocksuckers because Elizabeth, let's see if I can pull up the actual clip from Liz. Let's watch this together because Liz covered this on Tucker Carlson. Okay, and just so you know, Liz is talking about me here. She's telling a story here, which I wasn't going to do. But let's watch this together and then I'll give some context.
I keep going with my videos, how this is unacceptable, wrong, and Gary starts coming after me, attacking me without even a phone call or anything, just attacking me viciously. So he's a man's man. He's a honorable.
She's talking about me right now. Okay.
Military guy, unlike others, and he calls him and he says, "Are you okay?"
This is after Gary. The first time Gary decided to talk shit about me on Twitter, out of nowhere, by the way.
What are you doing? And immediately Gary goes like, "I'm so sorry. I have huge respect for you. I will not do this again. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry."
They're all that way.
Right?
They are that way.
It's happened to me. You confront them, weak men are like that. They'll never be straightforward with you because they're too weak. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. Then they're out attacking you again.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, no, I know the species.
As soon as he got off the phone, like only a few days after, he goes ahead and sees Gary attack him again, again and again. So then he started investigating with his buddies, Green Berets, Navy SEALs, all of that, and they found something. And this is where I got on a group call.
All right, so all this happened. Me and Liz are going to cover all this. We're going to call all this. Let me give some context, because what Gary decided to say on Twitter today is that none of this happened. So Gary, I'm right fucking here, buddy. You remember, let's talk about this. Let's say this publicly, because Nate never talks about this shit publicly, but let's go ahead and talk about it. You said I'm a liar. Gary, you said I'm a liar. But you don't remember when the first time you decided to talk shit about me on Twitter and I fucking called you up privately because I'm a real fucking man. I'm like, you're a little cuck bitch ass, you little fucking pussy. What you did when I called you up, do you remember? And I said, Gary, why the fuck are you talking shit about me outside of nowhere, Gary? Gary, you're going to see this too, but I'm done. I'm done with your bitch ass, all right? You said, what'd you say? When I called you up and I said, what's your fucking problem, man? Why are you talking to me? I'm so sorry, Nate. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's not the way I meant it. It's completely misrepresented. I respect the shit out of you. Over the top apologies. You remember that, Gary? I remember that. But now you're saying that that's a lie. No, that's not a lie, is it, Gary? And so, Gary, if I'm so fucking sick and tired of you talking shit about me on fucking X like a little punk ass fucking bitch when I've approached you privately and kept my mouth shut and been respectful. But now, Gary, how about this? How about the next time you want to fucking say anything online about me, you fucking come out to my house. I got a combatants gym in my fucking house, and me and you just fucking solve this man to fucking man. Why don't you put your little pussy ass bitch mouth or money where your mouth is and come find out? How about that? I'm fucking sick and fucking tired of it, buddy. You're a fucking pussy, buddy. Jeez. I will fucking fold you like a fucking lawn chair. We'll do it for charity. We'll donate it to fucking Erica Kirk if you want. Come get some. Otherwise, shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth. Stop talking about me online. If you want to solve it, let's solve it in person. Public challenge. You and me. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. I'm twice your fucking size. I fucking fight 5 days a week. Let's do it. Let's find out how fucking tough you are. Stop yapping your fucking mouth on social media, fucking bitch.
Yeah. So I don't, there's nothing to really say after that. He explained how he felt or how he feels very well throughout this 7-minute rant. So and it's well deserved. Like Gary is deserving. He deserves all of this, to be honest, because I agree, bro. He's just be yapping. Like, I know I'm a yapper, right? But that's who I am. Gary is like a ballistics man. He's Mr. Tactical Man. So it's like, bro, what happened to that content, bro? Like, you got all of these firearms on your wall. Get out there and go do something with that. Why is he holding X spaces talking about Candace Owens recap? What? We don't even do that. You know what I mean? We'll throw a little after party. We'll definitely yap about everything. But for somebody that's like on the outside, why are you Candace Owens recap? Candace, like every day, it's a Candace X space. It's weird. And so I remember putting out a tweet one time when Nate had he did the replica shot, or shot of the crime scene. And he did everything that he's an expert at, he put that to use that day to try to replicate everything that he can to make 910, to replicate 910 as close as possible. And I remember I was like, bro, this is great content. You know what I mean? Where is Gary doing that? Gary is similar. He could very well, very easily go out there and try to replicate that shot 100 times, 1,000 times. But instead, he just goes on X and he just starts pushing slop and just wants us to just believe stuff. Like, he literally is on record, on camera, saying the 30-06 is impossible. With Nate, we played that on a Yappisode a couple of Yappisodes ago. He's with Nate early on saying, yeah, 30-06 impossible. That, blah, blah, blah. And so now he's all of a sudden saying the 30-06 is for sure possible. He brings up all these MLK when it's a totally different situation. And I'm like, okay, bro. Well, can you get out in the field and explain to us why your theory changed? Why are you all of a sudden now so confident that the original narrative must be true? Can you get out there and shoot a 30-06 2 times? Nate has done it a few times now. Can you just go out in there and do it twice, 3 times? But you get paid to do this stuff and shoot 1,000 times, 1,000 bullets, and show us your findings. What happens? Do you have any of those 1,000 bullets that actually lodged into something? But he never does. And that's when I was like, bro, you can't take these people serious. When you got folks like Nate, when you got folks like Gary that's on the internet acting like a whole female, talking about Candace X Space every night, like same thing with Blake Neff. They be doing the same thing. Like, bro, how does Blake Neff gonna tweet every day and say, on Candace's episode today? I'm like, what? So I'm getting my recap of Candace Owens through Blake Neff. Why are you religiously watching? You cannot take these people serious. They shouldn't be taken serious. I hope after today, Gary, Lisa knows, all these people, they just get ignored. And I know sometimes it's hard to ignore them because Blake Neff and all of them, TPUSA will do something with those people. So everybody wants to know what's going on through Gary, because it seems like those are the only people that say something. Lisa knows somehow is the only person that'll come out and say something about Erica. So it's hard, but I mean, it gets to a point, bro. These people shouldn't be taken serious, especially after that group chat was leaked today of them actually trying to coordinate things to protect Erica. I'm like, yeah, bro, y'all just took a massive L. Now, there are some things going on with Nate and Elizabeth Lane and Mitch Snow. So I'm gonna just bring it up for y'all to see. So weird. Well, he had to make the bullet stay in. So prayers for a good sleep for the Yap babies. I hope so. Last night was a late night where I'm running on fumes tonight. He was up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. Got to get up at like 7 in the morning for work, 7:30 in the morning for work. So hopefully he sleeps good tonight. My oldest, I'm watching him. He be sleeping good. He usually wake up around like 12:30, 1 o'clock every night, but he be sleeping good. All right, so some weird things been going on, and somebody might know a little bit more than me on this topic, so I'm gonna just show it. So this is the video we just played of Nate going in. And then Honest Ash, don't mind me liking tweets and stuff. Okay, I just try to keep up with the things. I try to keep up with stuff. So Honest Ash, she said, so why was Nate involved in the Mitch Snow smear campaign? When will he talk about that? Gary makes it sound like Nate came to him with it. And I did pull up a clip earlier. I think Honest Ash played it where Nate pretty much discredits Mitch, and he's like, this guy's crazy. He beats on women and children. Nobody should listen to him. I did see that. But Honest Ash brought that up today, or I guess almost a whole day ago. She says, so why was Nate involved in the Mitch smear campaign? When would they talk about that? Gary makes it sound like Nate came to him with it. Elizabeth Lane said he was never involved. We explained that in one of the episodes. Tune in on Thursday. Then Mitch Snow came out of nowhere. He says, Mrs. Lane, you are now lying or misleading with malice. Nate and Ian were 100% involved. The history will not be rewritten. Nate threatened Candace Owens, claiming Candace Owens did not vet her guests when it was Nate and Ian who did not vet Gary or Gary's guest. Men would have corrected themselves by now. Instead, they have spent months trying to justify their mistakes so they do not have to admit they were wrong. Nate threw a steroid-induced temper tantrum because Candace Owens did not let him have his way. Nate chose to hurt a child, my child, and my relationship with my child. That is not honor, nor a man, nor a patriot, period. You are whitewashing the harm he intentionally committed because of his own greed and ego. You are whitewashing to salvage your friend from admitting his error. That makes both of you fake and gay. That is not honor. You are trying to salvage one of two evil men as good merely because they now pretend to oppose each other. They are two sides of the same worthless coin. Wow. I was mistaken to believe you were different than any of the other media group shills. Good luck. Oh, man. What do y'all think about that? That is wild. I mean, I know Mitch has gone through things ever since he came out, and people showing up at his house, you know, all types of crazy stuff happening. And so, you know, that is very crazy. I didn't say threaten. I'm pretty sure she said Valhalla a few times, and she essentially was talking. Nate did not threaten Candace. Nate cared about the fact that Mitch was a Green Beret. He didn't want Mitch to get award money. That was all Nate thought. This Candace dislike and down talk Nate. Not gonna lie, I unsubbed to Valhalla when he did that. He does need to apologize to Mitch and Candace. Dang, y'all, it's getting messy out here. Nate was drunk, but he still needs to apologize. Nate did threaten Candace. I like Nate, though. I think Gary roped him in. Oh, Adam, what's up, man? Sometimes Candace brings up Valhalla getting mad at her, but they don't have beef. Yeah, I mean, you know, based on what I'm looking at from completely unbiased, because I don't, you know, I watched the clip of Nate saying what he was saying about Mitch. So I think based off of that and what we know now, I think, you know, Mitch does deserve an apology because, you know, from what my understanding is that none of those things are true. You know, that was the first initial smear campaign on Mitch that Honest Ash was talking about, when people was just coming out saying like, oh, look, this is an ex-girlfriend, this is a wife, this is that. But none of that ended up being true. So I don't think it'll be like, you know, I don't know how deep it got, but Mitch talks about it a little bit, but it's like, you know, it's okay to be wrong. You know what I mean? I know it caused a lot of harm to Mitch. That's what he's saying in his message right here. But you know, it's okay to admit your wrongs. It's okay to admit that, like, hey man, you got bamboozled and you got fooled by those women that came out. You know, you jumped the gun because you're such a person that stands on principles when it comes to women and children. So when you first heard the news, you jumped the gun too quick and you judge Mitch in the wrong way. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, and someone said he didn't want Mitch to get the reward money. I mean, you know, I can't speak on all of that, but I just think that he does need to apologize though, because so far Mitch turned out to be credible. He was actually there. He did say, you know, he so far, based on everybody's reactions, it seems like he saw who he said he saw at Fort Huachuca, because everybody started reacting crazy. He got the damn flood doppelganger showing up on his doorstep, you know, so clearly Mitch is on to something and he went over the target. So, you know, he turned out to be credible, even though Nate and others initially thought he wasn't. And that's okay. A lot of people, like, that was a very divided conversation when that first came out. That's not anything super crazy. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people was like, I don't know. And I mean, y'all, if y'all remember, I definitely was like, shoot, I believe him. I believe him. And then when all those stuff started coming out, I even said then, I'm like, bro, I don't really care about all the past and women and all that other stuff. What they got to do with what he saw with his own 2 eyes that day. Then when Gary brought his son up there and his son confirmed on accident that Mitch Snow was actually there, I'm like, oh yeah, I believe it. So I just think that just this unnecessary beef right here could be resolved very quickly with just an apology. He didn't threaten her physically. Nate said he would expose her or something weird like that. Nate has apologized for his way of handling things. He likes Candace. I don't think Nate will ever be cool with Mitch. I never believe Nate feels very strongly about the abuse situation in general, and Gary just used him. That's my read on it. Nate basically stopped drinking and got in shape because he was so embarrassed about his behavior, being drunk and all. That's fair. Y'all need to read the Substack by Andy Liu. I can say with confidence there will be more. He saw what he thinks he saw. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that going around. Like I think Stu Peters teased it or something like that. Like, no, Mitch Snow definitely saw what he said he saw, and I saw it too, or something like that. I like Nate, but he did mistake Mitch's character. Yeah, I mean that's all it is, and a lot of people did. A lot of people did, so it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but you do have to apologize if that's everything that it came down to. Let me see what else has happened from here. Honest Ash again said this has to be addressed because he looks like an undercover op that is quickly gaining trust and access to important people. I'll be tuning in Thursday with all my spidey senses. All right, now Mitch, calm down. You're starting to sound real culty. Oh Lord, what's going on? Oh Lord. If Liz has seen and accepted that they said they were wrong and they have chosen to walk forward and continue to fight for truth, this is an unfair stance to take. We are not loyalists. If someone come to our conclusions and work to assist the mission, there we go. The mission, we accept them and keep fighting those that are indeed the establishment. Now, don't get me wrong, your feelings are valid for how you felt back then, but to come against someone who don't see the same things you see, have the same feelings or experiences you had is crazy and causes roadblocks to get into the truth. Oh, Lord. Sammy, I am calm. This is Mitch responding. I stated facts, not feelings, but no, those who took to threatening Candace Owens in hopes of being included in on a meritless lawsuit do not get to just change teams at their benefit without facing consequences and having the audience reminded of the score. Sheesh. They had time to beg for super chats. Then they also had time to correct themselves. They chose not to. That's on them, not me. Go scold them, Sammy. They have no skin in the game. Amy and I do. This has been no game to us. We have faced consequences and losses while not burdening you all with a very instance of a play-by-play. These people have sent people to harm and kill us. It was Valhalla's own words threatening to do this the hard way. Well, his attempts failed. Now he wants to do over. He wants a do-over. He voluntarily made bets that he kept moving the goalposts on and still failed, then welched on his own bets. Please don't act like that is something to sweep under the carpet. They harmed my son and my relationship with my real 14-year-old son. None have truly pondered what kind of vile slugs of human refuse one must. What? None have truly pondered what kind of vile slugs of human refuse one must be to stoop that low. Oh, okay. Vile slugs of human. One refuse. One must be. Oh my God, I sound stupid. None of you have considered that that had real world costs. It is disrespectful for you to characterize me as bitter or to ask me to quiet down, Sammy. Go scold them, not me. I did not go out to put my nose in business, not put upon me. They did. They made threats and made money to make those threats. They betrayed our Candace cousins. They betrayed themselves. But no, this history will not be rewritten nor forgotten. The debt is old. A debt is owed. It will be paid or it will be collected. Boy, Mitch is going in. A repeatedly self-proclaimed man spent weeks lying to you all about me while collecting his bag super chats and sloshing back his drinks, making threats against the woman you all claim to admire and respect and praise, and who is ultimately responsible for this man's entire internet existence. Sheesh. Oh my goodness. Okay. A woman who is also under actual real world threat. And it's just water under the bridge now because he is begging for shekels, claiming he has flip-flop switched teams quicker than the Fed, claims Tyler Robinson changed shirts. Maybe he should spend weeks making amends. That is what a man would do. A man would have done it without being prompted. What a man would not do, unless he's a coward, is to have a pretty lady allow him to white knight in a false rivalry in order to restore his projected protector character image he so desperately needs you all to believe. Dog, he is going in. Gary and Valhalla were both together. This flip-flop is nothing more than podcaster WWE scripted soap opera. This is not bitterness, Sammy. This is resolve. It is truth. It is far different tone. There's a path to getting right. There is no cheating it. If he had a soul he cherished, he'd already have sought it without needing to be reminded like a child, as would have Ian. Which is interesting because, Ian and Candace are super close. Or I mean, at least used to be. I don't know if they still are. But they Ian covered for Candace last time when she was pregnant. If this is if this is who you wish to believe in, bless your hearts. Oh man. This is Mystic. This is my exact reaction. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. Did she respond to this? No response. Oh man, that was Mitch. Mitch Snow was responding because he is pissed at Valhalla for the things that he did back then a few months ago. Oh man, that is very crazy. So, I don't know how that is going to end. I will be for sure following it in the dark because I don't ever like comment on drama and all of that stuff, like as far as like instigating. So I'm gonna keep up and following what's going on because clearly that's not over. That is not over at all. We'll probably recap what's going on different Yappisodes, but I'll be following what's going on over there because that is crazy. Let me see. There are some other things too. Oh, someone sent me this, bro. Look at Jack Posobiec. Yeah, it is getting spicy, messy. Is it getting too messy out here? Yeah, it's it's days right now hard. It's tough because I think a lot of people the emotions are so high right now And I get it too, because like it has been what is it? 11 months. It's been a year. So emotions are high. This whole case has opened up everyone's eyes. So everybody is kind of like a little suspicious of everybody. You know what I mean? That's what this case has done. Whether people want to admit it or not, it's very true. People have just been looking at everybody a little bit more suspicious, a little bit more like, can I trust you? That's just what it is. And so the biggest thing is that if you do find yourself in the wrong, like just apologize. You know what I mean? Just it may suck, but it's better to do that than to pretend like nothing happened. But a lot of people are just, emotions are high. Everybody's kind of like beefing about it. People are losing patience. People are tired of people lying. There's so many different things that I understand where everyone is coming from. So I also don't appreciate people that are just like attacking the people that are losing patience. Cause I'm like, bro, it's been a year. Okay. Let's please stop acting like it's normal for somebody to be like, just be patient. The information is going to drop. Just be patient. I'm like, it's been a year. Okay. It's not that people don't have patience. It's a realistic feeling. Okay. Because nobody in the history of their life has ever been in this exact situation where we're all trying to crowdsource and investigate what happened to somebody. It's never happened in live time. Usually it happens like 5 to 10 years from now, people start digging into what happened to Charlie. We're doing this in live time. So when people are like just going in on people talking about, oh, you don't have any patience and all this, it's like, bro, it's been a whole year, bro. Okay, people have patience. They just don't know how to manage those emotions in a situation that has never happened before. So I understand it. We are very open over here on this channel. So we've talked about it plenty of times, just being like, man, this is just like crazy. Why won't this person drop this person drop that? And please stop telling people they haven't been patient, or be patient, because they have been patient for a year. So it's valid questions, and it's okay to just say, it's coming soon. I don't know, but I just don't like when people like trash individuals who are just like, yo, bro, what's going on? Like somebody put in the chat earlier, like, man, I haven't heard of anything. Hold on. My son looked cold in the room. Let me play this video of Andrew Wilson and Joe Rogan real quick while I go help my son get back under the covers, and I'll be right back.
When I went to the TPUSA HQ, and I talked to Erica briefly while I was there, the first thing I did was what I think every normal, moral human being would ever do. I gave her a hug. And I told her how god-awful sorry I was that happened to her. Like, could you even imagine how that's got to feel for her? Especially now that she has tens of thousands of people accusing her of murdering and conspiring to murder and then cover up what happened to her own. I mean, that's like mind-boggling psychological torture on a level that I've never seen.
Yeah, and hindsight is 20/20, but given the reaction, I think it probably would have been better for her to like lay low for a little while.
1000%.
The going out with the sparklers was not a great idea. Like all that was not a great idea because it just seemed insane. And maybe sometimes in grief, or when you're trying to show that they're not going to hold us back, people make choices that could be interpreted in a very bad way.
100%. The interesting thing is I asked her about that. I asked her, like, what's the deal there?
What's with the sparklers?
Well, what's with the aberration in behavior? And she's like, look, I was put in like the worst spot I could ever think of. I was the background character. I was just there to support my husband. That's it. The only reason I even really got involved is because Charlie was so pro-marriage. and he wanted to demonstrate to the world you can be married and have kids, and this is the good life. So when he dies, she takes over, right? This moves over to her control. She says, well, the first thing I want to do is honor his last book. That's the very first thing I want to do. I want to honor his legacy. And she's like, I don't know exactly how to take this position. At the same time, there's expectations for the organization my husband built that I want to honor, right? But, I'm also in the middle of grief. And it's like, I don't know how you balance that position. Who's been in that position ever?
Right. And especially who's been in that position that's not accustomed to being scrutinized in the public eye.
Everything.
And so I seen I didn't even realize my hat fell off. That's crazy. I feel weird when it's just like this. That's why I wear a hat, because I obviously go to sleep in my do-rag. But I don't ever want to just like wear my do-rag like this. You know what I mean? My hat makes it a little bit more fit-ish. So I'm gonna throw my hoodie on. And so I was listening to Joe Rogan and Andrew Wilson and all that other stuff. And I just found it interesting. I know that's a whole separate conversation, but I found it interesting because he talked about how, Charlie Kirk wanted to have an image. And we talked about that quite a bit in the Yappisodes, but like Charlie Kirk really pushing. It's almost like, again, Erica was assigned. And in order for Charlie to push these certain messages, he can't be the bachelor with no kids trying to push family stuff. So when we talked about like Charlie and Erica having marriage content, as far as like going on stage and giving out marriage advice when you only been married for 3-4 years, I'm like, that don't make any sense. But Andrew Wilson just gave us insight on what Erica apparently has told him, which is Charlie was wanting to push that image versus Erica. So, not that Erica didn't agree with it or not, but she's making it. She told Andrew that it seemed like it was Charlie's idea to, portray their marriage as the perfect marriage. I'm the housewife and all this other stuff, the traditional wife. She made it seem like it was Charlie's idea. So that was very interesting. I'm seeing the chat blow up about Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens. Heavy duty country shows, Officer Tatum talking to Andrew about Candace Owens. Heavy duty country, let me see. Heavy duty. Okay. Let me see. I thought you, there you go. 6 minutes and 33 seconds.
All day. You guys know that I'm a huge Officer Tatum fan. The dude's the best. No, he's taking those $7,000.
Wait, is this it, or should I be looking for his live and not a clip?
checks to buy his Ferraris. But he was on some show and somebody brought up how Charlie Kirk thought that black people were better off when they were slaves. And this was Officer Tatum's answer.
And then Charlie Kirk said black men like you were better off during slavery. Do you agree with him?
Now, listen, 100%.
You believe 100%?
Wait, after slavery. Let me
the guy on the right. Oh, shit. Y'all didn't see that. Let me replay it.
And then Charlie Kirk said black men like you were better off during slavery. Do you agree with him?
Now, listen, 100%.
You believe 100%?
Wait,
you
after
better
slavery. Let me
you're saying you would be better
off.
off.
100%.
You don't.
Look, folks, I'm not the smartest dude ever, but Officer Tatum has to be one of the worst dudes who do this when it comes to common sense. And then we have more from Officer Tatum. Let's see.
You know, this is coming from Candace. She doesn't even believe that he was on campus that day.
Who
do
you think is behind this?
I don't
Do you think
Tyler Robinson was there.
You don't think he was there?
I think he's a total patsy.
What do you make of that?
Well, I think people should be able to digest this information and say, if a person is going to say he wasn't even there, he was a patsy, and there's no evidence whatsoever presented to back that claim up, then you should probably question what where the person is getting their information from. It is clear as the noonday sun he was on campus 4 times. How is somebody who's not associated with the case, has no investigative skills, is not investigating anything?
Okay, so let's just stop this for a second, buddy. You can say that dude, clear as the noonday sun, is Tyler Robinson. I will tell you right now, Tyler Robinson has a face that you could probably stack a lot of dudes up next to and be like, they all kind of look similar. Same with his build. Erica Kirk's.
I mean, even clear as the noonday sun. Bro, even Lance Twiggs got the 6 photos of Tyler Robinson and was like, I can't really tell if that's him or not because of the camera quality. So how is the person that's taking it or giving it at night not familiar with what his lover looked like? It don't matter if you turned around to the side, to the front, to the back, you're going to know what your significant other looks like. And for Lance Twiggs to say, I can't really 100% definitively say that that's Tyler Robinson because of the camera quality, but you know, he does like hats, he does like long sleeves, he does like jeans, he does like shades, he does like shoes. It could be him. And then at the very end, he was like, oh yeah. That's 100% definitely him. Bro, you already saw that picture and you just said that you couldn't tell if that was him or not. So if Lance Twiggs is saying that, then how is Brandon Tatum going to come up here and say, oh, it's clearly him? Like, these people are, oh my gosh.
Brother looks more like this dude than Tyler Robinson does. But do we ever get a clear image of his face? No, we don't. So the whole noonday sun and it's 4K footage and I don't know why they're questioning things. Dude, just sit in your Ferrari and let us handle the investigative work. And then I got another dude to call out for trying to interrupt Candace, create interference, whatever you want to call it. But this dude, I believe, made his come up by arguing with OnlyFans women. We don't even need to play Andrew Wilson. We already know Andrew Wilson got humiliated by another woman. Because when the woman, we talked about that in the last couple of episodes, the woman literally was like, ain't your wife, don't she got like 3 baby daddies? And he got super, super emotional hearing that. Y'all know how I feel though about the Candace and Baron Tatum, the Candace and Brandon Tatum, dynamic. It's just, it doesn't really make sense. She calls out everybody, but I don't know what it is. It could be very close ties with Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum is pretty open about how Candace has always been there for him. She's always kind of like got him in the door to many different places, and she's just been a great friend through and through. Brandon Tatum even said he wouldn't even call Charlie if he really needed something. He'd call Candace. So, I get that, but it does come to a point where I'm like,
man, Brandon Tatum is saying the most, like, that's a huge thing. Like, that's like, it's almost like a pin in history where Brandon Tatum flipped on Candace and is now disrespecting her every single day. Like, that's not something that people are just like, oh, you know, whatever. That's huge. So, you know, I don't know. I've always said it plenty of times on here, and I'm like, man, I've heard Candace call out the most irrelevant people on the internet and give them airtime for 30 minutes. What is it with Brandon Tatum that she just will not acknowledge whatsoever? And I know some people are always going to come to her defense. Oh, she doesn't have to acknowledge her. Sure, she doesn't have to, but she also doesn't have to acknowledge the other 45 people that call her out on X that are attention seeking that she'll give. You know, she'll give them airtime on the show. And I'm like, bro, this person does not deserve any attention whatsoever. So I'm like, let's please not act like she doesn't give many people attention. So why doesn't she, you know, and I'm not saying she got to do all of that, like, you know, whatever, but people have addressed it in the super chats plenty of times very early on. And she, you know, she'll dismiss it and just try to keep it pushing and not really acknowledge the whole Brandon Tatum thing. So I'm like, I don't know. It's just so blatant. Like, it's so blatant that Brandon Tatum is just disrespecting her and saying all these different things. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. Yeah, he doesn't really take up for Charlie. Is I don't know. Their families are close. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. That their families are super close. That they I don't know if they still do, but you know, somebody told me a couple of months ago that, you know, they hang out all the time. Their kids hang out together and stuff like that. So, like, you know, I'm sure, and Brandon Tatum has been pretty open about how he still does Candace's merch. So, like, that's a thing where people are probably like, why does she even still do merch with him? Like, you know, it's so many different things that it's just like, it's strange. It's strange. But, you know, we won't ever really know until she addresses it or something like that. I want to pull up a tweet that I wanted to talk about earlier. And that is just showing what people go through online when they start to just get a little bit like, it's been a year. If we're pushing for truth, and Didi caught the same smoke, and me and Didi have been in touch. So whoever did that, thank you. Because yeah, me and Didi, we ain't been able to cross paths and meet at the same time. So we finally were able to get in contact with each other. So hopefully, you know, something soon. But Didi caught the same smoke. Didi said something on his, and I can pull up his thing too. He said something on his video or live one time, just about like, man, I'm just like ready to get to the truth, man. And like, it doesn't really make sense. And he just said that he's just tired of everybody having all this information, but nobody wants to say anything because they're waiting for the right time, blah, blah. And bro, he got so much smoke in his comments. And I'm like, bro, that's a valid feeling, bro. Can we please stop punishing people that are like, hey, I've waited a year for information and it seems like people have it, but for some reason they don't want to release it because they're saying they're waiting for the right time. But yet, what does that really mean? Because, you know, Trump's going to be in office for another 2 years. So are you waiting until that's over? Like, what's happening? And people get just dogpiled for just being like, you know, y'all know me. I've gotten dogpiled for the Aspen video. I've said that a million times. I'm like, dog, the Aspen video, nobody has made that make sense to me yet at all. Like, and I'm not like super worked up about it. I was just open and honest with y'all. I was like, if we don't get the Aspen video, I'm gonna just be a little bit annoyed because that was something that we were like into for like about 2 months of just constantly Aspen video. So it's like, I'm sorry for wondering what happened to that. And then I just get dog piled on because everybody's like, "Yo, it's strategic, bro. It's and I'm like, how are y'all just so cool with just being just fed this thing for 2 straight months, and then it just stops?" And so I haven't got a great solid answer yet from anybody because they're like, "Oh, Jay, the Aspen video is copyrighted, so that's why Candace can't release this part." Because where I'm at is Candace put out a tweet that said, "I've had the Aspen video for 7+ months. Y'all thought I was," she was talking to I think Alice Clark. She's like, "I've been sitting on this video for like 7 months. Y'all thought I didn't have it, blah, blah, blah." And she plays 35 seconds of the Aspen video, but it was in regards to the women's leadership summit. Like, it was just about that. And then I was like, that's a weird thing to kind of like flex that you had it this whole time. Like, I get it, sure, you were playing chess, but I also don't doubt that Andrew, Turning Point USA, I don't really doubt that they were like, Candace doesn't have the video. You know what I mean? Like, you used to work there. So, you know, so I was like, that's a weird thing to say. But now I'm like, well, can you release the video, Candace? Because that's what we've been waiting for. You know, like you just posted 35 seconds of it. So can you post that part that we've been waiting for 2 months? And then everybody's like, no, she can't. Well, she never did it, obviously. And then the last thing she did was send an email out and on the show. She was like, I'm gonna send an email out to Andrew Covet to see if I can get permission to post it, blah, blah. And that's when I was telling y'all in these episodes, I was like, I ain't got a good feeling about that. Not jumping to any conclusions about anybody being controlled op or Candace is I wasn't saying any of that. I was just saying like, hey, bro, like Andrew Covet is not going to respond to Candace, say, sure, you can post it. Like, what? That don't make any sense. Andrew Covet and them have never responded to about any of that stuff. So when she said, I'm gonna ask Andrew Covet for permission, I was like, permission for what? You already posted 35 seconds of it. You already released the donors' names that asked the question. So what's that? And then she already said Charlie never even said those words. Like, I appoint my wife Erica as CEO if something happens to me. He never said those words. She said that he only talked about Erica when it came to the faith department. So I was like, okay, so when people are like, oh man, that part is legally protected. What part? The part that he doesn't even say those words? Oh no, bro, she can't release it because of copyright. She's already released it. She already released 35 seconds of it. What are we talking about? Oh, she can't release the full thing. I'm not saying can she release the full thing. Just release that part, just like how she released this part. And this part can't be legally protected because this part doesn't even exist. So can you just release this part so we can at least get the full context of how he responded to that question? And everybody just hated me for it. I was like, okay, bro, I don't know anymore. I don't know. So then when she brought it up the other day on her show, and she was like, it was like a couple weeks ago, and she was like, Turning Point USA is being disingenuous and or they're like, they won't show y'all the Aspen video. They're holding that from y'all. In my mind, I immediately was like, you are too, though. Like, you have it too. And Turning Point USA, remember, she was like, I need Andrew Covet to specifically him to respond and say that it is not AI, it's not altered, and blah, 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 blah. But he said all of those things on X. We played that in a Yappisode. He said all of those things on X. He was commenting and responding to everybody. And he was like, it's not altered. It's not fake. It's real, blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, so what are we waiting for then, bro? We're waiting for him to put that in an email? And so then she never followed up. Like, that was literally the last day. She never was like, hey, I'm waiting on this email, like how she did like the what is it called, the FOIA, the FOIA or whatever, how she was updating that like every other episode. like telling us what the White House responded to, and I'm still waiting. She literally never was like, hey, Andrew Kovett responded or Andrew Kovett didn't respond. We literally just moved on. And I brought that up and I raised like questions about that because I was like, that is so strange. What the heck? And there are a million people that just didn't like what I had to say. And people just kept on trying to like, hey, bro, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. And I'm like, I hate to tell you that doesn't make sense, but it doesn't make sense. I promise you, I'm not being difficult, but what you're saying doesn't make sense. And if we can all come to the same conclusion that it doesn't make sense, maybe we can get somewhere. But it just didn't make sense. And I don't think anybody has yet explained that to me at all on why we don't have the Aspen video. It's just, so I just went on this whole thing because I think it is frustrating when you do have questions and people almost like criticize you for having questions, and they almost kind of like, I don't know, they kind of like downplay your emotions, and they're like, you're just not being patient. I'm like, bro, it's been a year. We're all patient, okay? And for me, what's helped me is that like I'm not as emotionally connected to all of it because I'm like, dude, I don't know. When you are, it just does something to you, you know? So now I look at it from more so I cannot wait until the truth, half of the truth, some of the truth, whatever comes out. But at the same time, I kind of look at it from an entertainment perspective because that's what they are doing. So when I look at it like that through that lens, it does help me mentally. So if anybody else is going through that rant that I just did, that might help. But I saw this tweet today, and I kind of felt bad for her. She said, dare I say it? Yes, I will always speak my mind. I'm starting to get irritated with Candace. You can only tell your audience, you guys have no idea what I'm sitting on for so long before we start getting antsy. Yesterday's episode was a nothing burger. And I think this was like, she's talking about August 4th episode. So not today, but yesterday. Well, I guess she did say yesterday. I'm tripping. At the very least, we need to see the picture of Erica at Candlewood Suites. She has denied she was there already, so the trap is set. What are we waiting for? Not trying to go full Betnars here, but give a dog a bone. Yeah, and it's crazy how people are referring to, I guess, being crazy as Blake Betnars. That's crazy. And I agree. I've said this plenty of times. I just let it go because you don't really get anywhere. But you know, the trap has already been set. They like Turning Point USA has already lied about Fort Huachuca. So what are we waiting on? I don't really know. But it's not a great question to ask X because they're gonna come after you. And so you know, this is what I felt bad for. It's because I guess once she started going through these comments, she came to the conclusion that she was being selfish, and she said she won't question the principle again. Personally, I didn't really like that. Like, I don't, that's just not fair. That's not fair to her. That's not fair to her emotions to raise valid questions. And then when she goes through the comments, she's like, thanks to everyone for reminding me that I'm being selfish. I won't question the principle again. That's just not fair. It's not fair. I don't really care what anybody has to say and how they feel about it, because I've said it plenty of times. So this wouldn't come as anything new, but it's just not fair, bro. It's a valid question. It doesn't make sense. This is not a normal situation at all for anybody. Not for Candace, not for the viewers, not for the people. This is not a normal situation for anybody. So nobody should be like trying to tell people how they feel in this situation. Will any of us ever understand what Candace is going through? No. But none of us can also tell each other what we're going through, because it's the first time we've ever gone through this in life. We have never had an assassination like this that was publicly viewed by the entire world, and we all know something is off. And now you have all of these people. We're all trying to figure out what happened, and it's been a year. We're almost a month and 5 days away from it being an entire year. So it's not fair for people 11 months later to say, I'm kind of getting frustrated with everybody gatekeeping their information. Like Turning Point USA, Andrew Covett, all of these people, they're all proven liars. So when people say I'm waiting for them to catch them in a lie, yeah, some people are like, bro, I don't need more proof that they're lying. They've already lied about a lot of things. So if that's the reason that the information is being withheld, I don't really like that explanation or that reasoning. That's a fair statement. Now, if there's other things like, oh, this person feels threatened, I'm like, well, yeah, we can't ever really prove that. But you know, when you go through these comments, you know, Kesu said this, and I agree with it. These comments are corny. You're allowed to have this opinion, and there's nothing wrong with this, with posting it for others' perspectives. You're allowed to disagree with Candace. She isn't Jesus. I'm sure she'd agree with this comment. And clearly I liked it. You know what I mean? Like that's valid. You are allowed to feel the way you feel. It's been 11 months. I don't blame you. And people can't stand hearing it when it's like, you know, and I've said it before. I'm like, it is gatekeeping. People hate hearing that term, but it is gatekeeping. You have information that you tease, which would then beg people. These people are begging you to release it. So then people will constantly come to you and kind of just beg you and please drop it, because what was that? What was that? So when you're dropping crumbs on purpose, it is gatekeeping. Now, there can be very rational gatekeeping. It could be justified gatekeeping. You know what I mean? Like you could definitely be holding this information or dropping bits and pieces for a reason. But when people are like using that term and being like, oh, you're gatekeeping it, and people get super mad about it and start going into this whole frenzy about like, oh no, it's not gatekeeping. It's being smart. She's playing chess. I'm like, okay, bro, it is gatekeeping. However, I can understand the gatekeeping. So we can meet in the middle here. I'm not saying that it's not rational. I'm not saying that she's not being threatened. If this thing is actually true for what it is, which is a multi-agency conspiracy where there are hundreds, 50 to 100 plus people involved, and that is in fact true, then that is very dangerous. That would mean there are a lot of people that you don't even know of that could be watching you because you know information. So like, I'm not downplaying that at all. But you know, I just hate when I don't know. It's just it's insane. I don't know, Jay. She's on 4 kill lists. She's being sued and she's pregnant. Yeah, but you know, I didn't mean to say but as in like minimizing that. That's very serious. However, we also have to remember she is still doing this while being pregnant with a family. Like, it's not like they're like, oh, if Candace releases that Fort Huachuca picture, she's not going to make it. We're going to take her out. She is already on the list, regardless of what she drops moving forward. They already know that she knows it all. So that's why I'm like, sometimes I'm like, okay, one piece of information is not going to all of a sudden make this agency say, oh, there it is. Now we got to go take her out. She has been brave about this entire situation. But the second that she stood up to the system and the second she stood up against these evil people, she was in jeopardy then. So I think that's why I can understand why a lot of people are like, hey, nothing new is going to all of a sudden make somebody want to do something to you right now. It's already bad. They already know you know everything. So dropping information that you may have been sitting on for months doesn't necessarily make sense to some people, and I can understand that perspective because they're like, it's not going to be all of a sudden be a new threat. People have no idea how it would feel to be Candace. Yeah, I mean, not at all. Not at all. You know, and that's why I said just, you know, giving everybody grace would be something great, because as a viewer, not minimizing Candace's thing that she got going on, but as a viewer too, people don't realize like how mentally draining they could be for, you know, Candace to be the one, and it is a couple of people, but only a handful of people are the only ones to have information, and everybody's like waiting for them to say something. And you know, because you also got to look at it like this, like why won't some of these people, so I'm not singling out Candace because she's not the only person in the world that is dropping information. Obviously, she's kind of like leading the charge, but why won't any of these people release information to people who may not care about the cover, the conspiracy of many people being involved? A lot of people don't care. A lot of people really are like, dog, I want the truth of what happened to Charlie. I'll DIE over it. Some people feel that way. You know what I mean? So when I look at it like that, and I'm like, well, yes, it's a very dangerous game. But some people are willing to risk it all. So why is it that nobody has ever sent something to maybe a random burner account? You know what I mean? A random burner account or somebody else that's like, hey, bro, you can't connect where it came from. Maybe you could, depending on what's released. But it's like, I don't know, bro. When I look at it like that, I'm like, that's the part where I'm like, dog, when everybody is depending on certain people, that's when people, I can understand the perspective of people being like, I don't really like the way this is right now, because why does it seem like everybody's, why does information only go to 3 people, 4 people? And then these 4 people are telling everybody else to be patient and trust me. It's going to come out. And it's like, well, if you're nervous, then send it to somebody else that it's not scared at all. And y'all can come together and figure out how to share this information without revealing your source, if that's the issue. But when that doesn't happen, because that's never happened in an entire year, right? It's never happened in an entire year where some crazy information happens and people are scared and they just send it to a burner account. They send it to, and next, you know, we get information from somebody else. No, we're only getting information from the same collective people. So when you think of it like that, it's like, I can understand the frustration. This is a very, very deconstructing night. Hopefully y'all are appreciating this conversation. And again, not like deconstructing from the entire thing, but sometimes you have to really just think for yourself. And it's not at all doubting anybody. It's just like, hey, bro, like, it's okay to have these thoughts and just talk with somebody about it, so that way you don't feel crazy. Your emotions are valid throughout this entire thing. So, you know, I felt bad for this lady right here talking about this, because you know, we'll go through some of these comments. I think it's hard to keep a show going when you drop something like the Losi Center video and the rest of the week don't have much to share. That's kind of how I see it. She's entertaining, but it's definitely not hard hitting content every time. And also, it's, you know, it's hard to when people look to Candace to drop like a bomb every single day. Obviously, that's tough. But you know, that's the part, you know, I can't fault these people for having this opinion or perspective because of Candace and others saying, man, the amount of information that I'm sitting on, the amount of things I have, like, you don't say those things and then blame the people for taking those things at face value and believing you. And then when you don't deliver the things that you have said, people get mad at the viewers and they're like, just be patient. It's like, I was, until this person literally said, I have so much to release and I have so much I'm sitting on, and they don't. You can't get mad at the person for hearing exactly what they heard and taking it literal. That's not fair. And yeah, I mean, I heard Stu Peters as well. You know, I heard him, and again, I want to preface and throw it out there. I am somebody that has never, ever, ever looked to be on somebody's platform at all. I absolutely love just yapping and talking to the Yap community. By myself, that's fine. But obviously, I'm talking about like outside of chopping it up with y'all in the comments and the Yap family, Yap community. But I'm not somebody that is like, I don't care to be platformed by any of these folks. I don't. So I think that's why, like, you know, a lot of people say that that's kind of like why they rock with me, because I kind of come from an unbiased perspective in general. But I don't care. I don't care about trying to be in cahoots. I don't care about any of that, bro. Because at the end of the day, I don't know any of them. You know what I mean? So like, when it comes to like Stu Peters, we said it in the last episode. This is nothing new. But when Stu told, I think there was Honest Ash when it was on the Black Line Brief, and he was like, yeah, I know for a fact Erica was in the hotel lobby at the Candlewood Suites in Fort Huachuca. I know for a fact. And then Honest Ash was like, how do you know that? Like, is there a video or something? He was like, I can't tell you, and you just have to respect that. I can't tell you, but trust me, I know. Like, trust me, I know. I can't tell you. You have to respect that, and it'll come out in the future. And I'm like, why in the freak would you tell me that? And some people love that. Some people are literally like, man, I love like getting fed stuff like that. Cool. That's for you. That's not everybody though. That's not everybody. So I mean, you know, again, I believed it, but without Stu even saying that. I believed Mitch. But yeah, it's when people say that and they're like, yeah, trust me, I know, I seen it all. I saw it. And it's like, oh, do you have a video? Do you have this? You have that? I can't tell you. I'm like, that sounds like we in high school now, bro. Like, why would you do that? Well, and then he's like, but don't worry, it'll come out very soon. So when they say that, I'm like, it's been a year, bro. So, you know, if they're waiting for Trump to get out of office, because Trump will pardon people to protect them, 2 years? You know, wait another 2 more years? Like, what exactly? And then that's why I say, when it comes to like controlled, you know, not necessarily controlled op, but when it's like controlled though, it's like, okay, if everybody's saying the same thing, right? Everybody's saying we're waiting on the right time. And a lot of people are not gonna like tonight's Yappisode. I already know how this go. Anytime we talk openly like this, a lot of people don't like this. And so that's completely fine. It's just on my mind when people started saying in the chat. Clearly, I had a lot to say about it. But when everybody is saying, just give it time, it's going to come out at the right time, you have to think, like, if a lot of people have information, then how are y'all going to all drop it at the same time? Like, how are all of y'all in cahoots of like holding information and dropping it for what moment? For what moment that y'all know that we don't know? And if any random person out here had information, what's stopping them from posting it? That's because they don't. That's why it's like, how are the only same few people getting information? Because if a random person had it, they wouldn't be like, I'm waiting for the moment. I'm waiting for the moment to catch Blake Neff in a lie. They would just be like, bro, look what I got. Like, so when you hear everybody coordinating these times of being like, we're just waiting. I'm like, who and how are y'all all on the same schedule? I don't get it. But I also, like I said, I'm not super connected emotionally because it helps me mentally. But you know, everybody just wants the truth. Everybody's just waiting for everybody just wants obviously to know what happened to Charlie. And we're not gonna ever know the full truth. We're not gonna ever know the full truth. Take a bite of faith. Faith isn't lost. You're not seeing a bigger picture. You're basing it on running a show. I mean, that's what it is, though. Like we gotta keep it a buck here. They are running a show, but I also can see the bigger picture at the same time. Like I can see both, because I can say, yeah, they're running a show because there are times where Candace says she has a lot of information, but she'll only have a 45-minute episode, and then the rest is for comments. When I can name off a million people that go live for 3 to 4 hours every single night of the week. But Candace is only going to go live for 1 hour, 40 to 40 minutes to an hour for 4 days a week. But she's the one that has all the information. So, like, could there be reasons? Absolutely. Could there be reasons and all that other stuff? Absolutely. Could her life be threatened? Absolutely. But when I bring that stuff up, like, a lot of people was like, oh, it's because of this. I'm like, it could very well be. But, like, you can't really discredit anybody else for saying, like, well, she is running a show because these people talk for the least amount of time a week, but the entire world is waiting for them to drop information. That's a very tough thing to battle. So I can't fault anybody out there that's like, man, I've been waiting for you to drop something, Candace. I don't blame you. She's on air 4 days a week for 45 minutes. And she says she's the one that has all the information. So I don't blame anybody for being like, bro, I only see you for 3.5 to 4 hours in 7 days. So in those 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, please throw me a bone. Because when I go here and I listen to Jay for 3 hours, for 2 hours coming up yapping, nobody's going to send information to Jay because he's a normal guy. So I get to just listen to Jay yap his mouth off, but not give me information. Can I get an episode from Candace that's 2.5 hours? I'd love that. Not me saying it, but I'm saying, like, I understand why people are like, yeah, bro, us normal people on live talking out our thoughts for hours, but like nobody else gets grace. If any random X person on X YouTuber podcaster, when they say something, they get zero grace. It's, you don't have any faith. You doing this, you doing that. It's just straight. And it's like, dang, the person that's putting in, like, you know what I mean? Putting in time. It's like, dang, bro, that's tough. I am clicking some comments just so I can read it. Bro, I hate my dang chair needs to go up or something. I wonder if they're holding out on more info to see what TPUSA people do first, because the more they conspire, the more they could potentially get convicted for. I mean, they've done enough. I mean, in my opinion, they've done enough. That's one thing for me that I'm like, that's not good enough. I'm not trying to hear Andrew Covett and Blake Neff and Erica get caught in more lies. I'm not really trying to hear that. They've done so many things already. I don't need more. And at the end of the day, the feds are a part of the cover up. So at the end of the day, the feds would have to arresting the feds, and the feds have to be going to arrest TPUSA. And it's just like, you know, they've lied so much. It's just, there's no reason anybody should be saying, and nobody should be saying I'm waiting for TPUSA to mess up. They've messed up for a year straight. Okay, so if a year of messing up is not enough, I don't know. It's crazy. She has inside sources. Ash rub elbows with some of the players in the game. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are protected. A lot of people, you know, there's so many people that just are protected sources. And I'm like, that also goes to show you, like, it's going to be hard to get to the bottom of the truth when everybody is scared to say anything. Yeah, facts. Question everyone and everything, like stay sharp, peace. Absolutely. I mean, that's literally what these people preach, to question everything. So, like, and again, it's questioning in good faith. I'm not questioning trying to catch anybody slipping up, being like, oh, I knew it. I would be devastated if it were to come out that like Baron and Candace was control op. I'll be devastated. Nobody wants to hear that. So that's not at all what I'm doing. Other people might, I don't know, but that's not at all what I'm doing. I agree. It's frustrating she won't drop more when there's so much anticipation. Part of me wonders if this has a bigger connection to the files than we all even know. It could be. I think, yeah, exposing all of that, man, this entire, like I said, the Charlie Kirk investigation opened everyone's eyes. With the world, and well, not the world, but us Americans will never be the same. Never. I would never trust the government. Not that I already did, because I didn't. I would never vote ever again. We gonna eventually get to see what's the news with Tucker Carlson and all that other stuff. But like, I don't care what it is, bro. If you aren't standing up for what happened to Charlie, if you're not an advocate of getting answers to what happened to Charlie, I don't rock with you. Yes, it's that deep. These politicians, these influencers that hold weight when it comes to our government, if you're not speaking up, you're dead to me. Straight up. So I don't care if Tucker Carlson is running for president. If you don't say nothing about Charlie, you're dead to me, bro. You're not getting that. Like, what? How is anybody else going to be eventually just tired of the same repetitive things going on and happening to us? 9/11, it took what? What is it? 20 years? 15, 20 years for us to finally be like, dang, bro, so what really happened on 9/11? 2,000 plus people died. And we over here sitting here talking about it don't make sense. That's crazy. So, because think about it, if the conspiracy ends up being true, that means that our government was in on killing 2,000 plus Americans. That doesn't piss anybody off. So, you know, the e-files, same thing. They swept it under the rug. They're not going to release an unredacted, or I don't know. Is it redacted? No, it's not redacted. They're not going to release the e-files in full with everybody's name, full transparency. It's not going to happen. So that's why I'm like, dog, this Charlie Kirk thing is the exact same thing. They're trying their best to sweep it on the rug. Nobody talks about it ever again. And it's not happening. It's not going to happen. So if you're somebody that holds these positions that could draw attention to the case from the mainstream media that we all know is bought and paid for, if these people aren't going to stand up I don't want no part of them. No part of them. This is a huge spiritual warfare thing that's going on. And the people that are pushing the Fed slop and the people that are pushing all these things, that they're evil. And if these people in these positions don't stand up to evil, then why would I want you standing up for me? Why would I want you representing me? You pick the side, stay over there. And yeah, I'm talking about Tucker. Tucker picked the side, stay over there. You love Erica? Cool, stay over there. You love Blake Neff? Cool, stay over there. Don't come back. You love JD Vance? Because he does? Cool, stay over there. Yeah, I can pull it up right here. The Vance Kirk thing. Vance Kirk thing is real. Here we go right here. So I posted this, and this has already been talked about. We talked about this months ago, like a while ago. But they updated the website. Vance Kirk 2028. They got a countdown now. And yes, it is a real website because all I got to do is click the link that I put right here. And it takes you right to the website. Republican 2028 presidential campaign, Vance Kirk 2028, strength, liberty, and the renewal of American promise with an active countdown. Now, nothing has been official. JD Vance hasn't came out and said anything who he's running with, who his running mate is. Erica hasn't said anything, but we all know that this was bought shortly after Charlie died. And whoever the owner is of the domain, we can't locate who that is, but come on. Come on. We know what's going on. We know exactly what's going on. And they're going, I guarantee you. First off, JD Vance, he's just not going to win. Even if he did, because him connected to Trump, like the Trump's fan base, majority of Trump's fan base has already lost. My fault. Trump has already lost majority of his fan base, and his fan base has noticed that JD Vance is bought and paid for, and he's gone. So he's not going to get Trump's fan base. So he has to develop an entire new fan base. He might get 1/4 of Trump's old fans and supporters. But this is going to happen. This is going to happen ever since Charlie died. And yes, they upgraded the website. It's looking all fancy now. I can probably pull up an old podcast of ours from a couple of months ago, and it was not looking like this. But they're going to run again. I mean, they're going to run because one thing that I noticed since Charlie died, these people are like, we know we're effed up people. We know we're lying to y'all every day, but you can't do nothing about it. Like that's the vibes I've been getting from our government since Charlie died. And they're also proving it in his death as well, in the investigation. They've proved it with the e-files as well. So it might have been a little bit before. Well, when I started noticing it, I think it's probably with the Gaza situation and all that, but I wasn't really into it yet. But obviously when Charlie died, I got really into it. I felt like, I was already on TikTok for years, but I felt like we definitely needed to get our voice out there, get this community out there even more. So I started to really feel it when Charlie died. Because I was like, man, bro, there's no way they just killed an American citizen like that. And not even the president, not even any of these people care. Like, right in our face the stupidest operation they could have did in broad daylight. And the fact that it was in broad daylight. I was like, nah, bro, that was a power play. That was a play on us of just like, yeah, bro, y'all do not run this place. This is not a democracy. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. It's a uniparty. Everything that y'all been doing is pretend. Y'all don't actually have any say when it comes to voting. And we're going to take out y'all most influential voice in y'all generation when in the political space. We're going to take y'all most influential voice and we're going to clear him off the map, and you ain't going to do a dang thing about it. When folks ask me, you know, Jay, why don't you like get into politics and like get up there? And I'd say it all the time. I'm like, look, I would never run for the left or the right. Never. The problem is that if you run as an independent and if you get enough traction and enough money to actually run and compete with the uniparty, you're not going to make it. If you know what I mean. Your brakes is going to go out on a bridge. You somehow was a healthy man, but you died in your sleep. You don't make it when you actually compete and have a chance to beat these evil people. And what they did to Charlie was just that. They realized that they were losing control of this man. He wasn't going to be a Democrat. He was going to do, oh, shoot. I just had a crazy thought. And I mean, I'm going to just share what I was just thinking. Charlie was going to do the same thing Tucker Carlson is doing. Charlie was going to deconstruct from the whole Republican Party MAGA thing. He definitely wasn't going to be a Democrat. He was going to be the person that was high up in the government that realized like all of this is fake and gay. Same as Candace Owens, how she's talking about there's no such thing as the left or right. Charlie was going to do that. And they couldn't control him, so they had to off him. And now Tucker Carlson is doing it. I just feel, it's very strange to me. It's very strange to me. I don't know. Not that I'm like implying Tucker was in on it and all that other stuff, but Charlie would have for sure. Charlie would have for sure been the person to run by himself as an independent, and he would have got everybody's. He would have got everybody's vote. He would have got it because Tucker's not getting my vote, bro. I don't care if you run independent, whatever. And I'm telling y'all, he knows more. He knows more than what he's giving out. That dude, daddy was CIA. His son worked for JD Vance or used to work for JD Vance. That dude knows everything. I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna share some of my thoughts on here. And again, I'm expecting. You know what I mean? I know what comes with talking about Tucker, and all that stuff. So I'm expecting it to be some interesting comments tomorrow or maybe the next day, if anybody makes it this far. I believe, and this is just a part of me, I can't confirm or deny or anything. These are just like, dang, what if? I believe Tucker was watching. I don't want to say I believe. Okay. Let me rephrase that. Sometimes I wonder if Tucker was watching Charlie become who he was. Right. And he was watching him be somewhat uncontrollable and somebody that could really just change the game. And I wonder if Tucker was like, man, listen, I know how this work. Okay. You playing a dangerous game. You talking real big. It does not end well for people like you. And I wonder if Tucker was almost kind of like that Charlie kid, man. I'm worried because people like that did not make it far in politics. And I'm worried for him. Because he knows how the game ends once you get out of line. And I wonder at SAS last year, I wonder that if Charlie would told Tucker to go max, I wonder if Tucker was like, are you sure? Are you sure? It's like Tucker knew, like, I don't know if you want that, bro. I really don't know if you want me to do that. Like, this boy done lost his mind. And sometimes, like, a part of me is like, Tucker also knew. You know what I mean? It's I'm just saying, that's just things that I think about. Tucker's he is smart dude, man. So much wisdom. He's 57 years old, bro. He got a lot of skin in the game. And I feel like as an older person, when you hang around younger people and they're so like courageous and you can tell their future is just so bright, you can see it. You can sometimes be like, man, I can see a little bit of me in you. I just feel like Tucker used to look at Charlie and used to be like, dude, this guy, man, he is great. But what he doesn't know is how dangerous this game can be. Because the way he's talking right now, that ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna do too well if you think you're gonna be an independent thinker and speak your mind and not get in trouble for it. Come on, bro. Tucker Carlson worked for Fox News. He used to push propaganda. He know what it is. He know exactly what it is. He was super connected to Trump. Super connected to Trump. He's still super connected to the government. He know what it is. So I wonder if he ever looked at Charlie and he was just like, I'm scared for him because the way he, at his rate, at his pace right now, you know, and then when you start thinking about his speech at the memorial, I'm gonna play it really quick. Tucker Carlson knew. He was the only person that had a speech like this.
Oh, that made me emotional. Had tears in her eyes. Made me emotional to see that. Susie Wiles had tears in her eyes. Which you don't often see in politics, but it's real. This is the most unbelievable thing I think I've ever seen. And I don't. Whatever happened.
I think so. I think he was scared for Charlie. I don't think it would have been anything like nefarious or anything like Tucker secretly being like, oh yeah, let me go back and tell the masters that, you know, Charlie's gonna do this. And like, that Tucker don't strike me as that, you know what I mean? Like, I want to also put it out there. Like, I like Tucker outside of him on Charlie Kirk situation. That's why I'm moving away from him. But I like Tucker post Fox News Tucker. I like the guy. He seems very genuine out of everybody. Him, the people that were at that table, I do like those individuals. Him, Thomas Massey, Joe Kent, I like them. So I don't think he would do something like that. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because I obviously don't know these people. And a lot of people can put on great acts, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he would do something like that. I just know that he knows everything. So it's interesting for a person that knows everything to not say anything, because the silence would be loud. So that's my thing with him.
What's next in America? I hope it's in this direction, because God is here and you can feel it. And Charlie would have loved this, not just because he loved large groups of people, but because ultimately he was a Christian evangelist. And it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it, and they just go bonkers. They hate it, and they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about, what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up.
People had no idea. Everybody's like, whoa. Even though everybody knows that is the story of Jesus, but it's crazy.
That'll fix the problem. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Everything is inverted, and the Beatitudes tell it, I think, the most crisply. Everything is sort of the opposite of what you think it's going to be. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. That is true, and you can feel it here. The thing about Charlie's message, I've thought a lot about it, and I'm trying not to be emotional, because in addition to everything else, he was a wonderful man and a decent man, and one of those rare people you meet who you just groove with in conversation and have these very intense conversations that you don't stop thinking about, which is my experience with him. But the main thing about Charlie and his message, he was bringing the gospel to the country. He was doing the thing that the people in charge hate most, which is calling for them to repent. So how is Charlie's message different? And Charlie was a political person who was deeply interested in coalition building and in getting the right people in office, because he knew that vast improvements are possible politically. But he also knew that politics is not the final answer. It can't answer the deepest questions, actually. That the only real solution is Jesus. And the reason, it's really simple. Politics, at its core, is a process of critiquing other people and getting them to change. Christianity, the gospel message, the message of Jesus, begins with repentance. Christianity calls upon you to change. Our core prayer, given to us by Jesus, the Lord's Prayer, demands that we forgive other people, but preceding that is a request for our forgiveness. In other words, forgive us our sins, meditate on what we've done wrong, how we've fallen short, and then it becomes possible to forgive other people. That is a call to change our hearts from Jesus, and that is the only way forward in this country. That is the only solution to where we all know we're going. And Charlie knew where we were going without that. And that is not a call for being politically passive. Of course not. I stood on many stages with Charlie calling for various people to be elected, particularly Donald Trump. And I'm proud of that. It's only an acknowledgement that what Charlie was really saying is that change begins, the only change that matters, when we repent of our sins. Me. A recognition that the real problem is me and how fallen I am. And that was the reason that Charlie was fearless at all times, truly fearless to his last moment. He was unafraid, he was not defensive, and there was no hate in his heart. I know that because I've got a little hate compartment in my heart. And I would often express that to Charlie about various people. And he would always say, that's a sad person. That's a broken person. That's a person who needs help. That's a person who needs Jesus. He said that in private because he meant it. So I guess I would just say this gathering and God's presence, God's very obvious presence in this room, the presence of Jesus, is a reminder of what we've known for 2,000 years, which is any attempt to extinguish the light causes it to burn brighter. Every single time. So as we proceed into whatever comes next, and clearly something's coming next, remember this moment. Remember being in a room with the Holy Spirit humming like a tuning fork. This is the way. Right here. This is the way. And that is what Charlie Kirk was saying underneath it all. Thank you, and God bless.
Yeah, he knew. He knew right then and there what actually happened to Charlie. He knew right then and there that it was not Tyler Robinson and all of that. It's funny that we that he said something about the Lord's Prayer, because I want to show y'all somebody that doesn't know the Lord's Prayer. He struggles with it. Y'all may have seen this before, but I'm gonna show it again. This is Mr. Jack Posobiec. Let's hear him. This is when the news first broke about Charlie on 9/10 last year. Let's hear Jack really quick on the Lord's Prayer.
Charlie Kirk event at Utah Valley University. Want to emphasize that everybody needs to pray for Charlie Kirk right now, just right now. And I'm going to say it on air.
Okay.
In the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into heaven.
Lead us not into heaven.
As we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into heaven.
He's thinking about it. It's like, what?
Lead us not into heaven.
Lead us not into heaven. That can't be it. What's happening?
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Charlie Kirk is a very close friend of mine. And I want him to be as okay as possible.
Lead us not into heaven. And he really sat there. Lead us not into heaven. Lead us not into heaven. That's great. That's never happened to me. I'm sorry. Maybe somebody out there could say, hey, bro, that happened to me before. I definitely told somebody, lead us straight to hell. But not me. I've never, ever said that. And he seemed very uncomfortable reciting that entire thing. That was a confession. That was his little thing he got inside of him, taking over, eating at him. The guilt of all the lies he's ever told in his life. All the people he's misled and manipulated.
Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven.
First off, you don't have to like stare into the camera either. Like, it's very awkward right now.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into heaven. Lead us not into heaven. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Wow. Jack Posobiec, Turning Point USA. What's new? Victor Marx is weird. I'm talking about the people that kind of like manipulate and weaponize Christianity. And it's really all of them. But Jack Posobiec is weird. Andrew Kovac is weird. He'll be the same person. Remember, we played something in the episode, or we played Andrew Kovac confessing in his hotel room or something like that on the episode a month or so ago. And that was weird. Like a whole weird thing. If y'all remember, y'all remember. But he's like confessing, and he was on his knees in the hotel room doing weird stuff. So like, that's weird. Erica's past is weird. Frank Turek is weird. Wishing God come down and strike Candace Owens. Like, all of these people at TPUSA are weird, bro. Then they push this whole manipulation thing with Christianity, bro. Like, it's crazy. It's insane how many people like are okay with it, which, you know, they're not. They're paid to do that, so they don't really have a lick of you know, God in them, faith in them. So I guess it would make sense, but it's just insane because it's like, when you're like, okay, bro, are you seriously defending this right now? Like, bump what happened to Charlie, bump if you believe Tyler Robinson did it, bump all of that. Are you seriously trying to tell me right now that this is not strange? You seriously trying to tell me right now that Victor Marks is normal, Jack Posobiec is normal, Andrew Kovac, Frank Turek, Erica, regardless of their outside world and past, you're sitting here trying to tell me that the things that they preach on and the way they talk about the Bible and scripture, you trying to tell me that's normal? It's, man, can't even agree on that. It's crazy. Bro, this thunderstorm is random. I'm gonna try to play some of my last some of the last thing. I told you I had a lot of stuff to share tonight. Oh shoot. It's getting crazy. I don't know if y'all can hear that. And I see lightning. I hope it don't get super loud. It's gonna wake my son up. It's gonna wake everybody up. Oh my gosh. Let me play one more thing. If I can. If it's like a loud lightning strike, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a wrap because I know one of my sons is gonna wake up. All right, I want to play this clip from Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has been pretty silent about what happened to Charlie this entire time, but she finally came out and decided to speak on it on this podcast. If I can make it all the way through.
Not waded into that because Charlie was someone I considered a friend and I really care about him.
Yep.
I'm also.
Who do you think killed Charlie Kirk?
I have not waded into that because Charlie was someone I considered a friend and I really care about him.
Yep.
I also think about his family. Gosh, I think about his mother often because I have kids that are, you know, between 23 and 28. And I always think to myself, my God, what a horrible thing that his family has to endure. But I will be honest with you. I very much think not Thomas Crooks. I'm sorry.
Tyler Robinson.
Tyler Robinson, getting the two different ones mixed up. Tyler Robinson, of course, I think is involved in some sort of way, obviously. But I am very much compelled by the lapel mic stories. I'm also a gun owner and I've shot a 30-06 multiple times and I know the damage that bullet does. And so it's hard for me to go along with the traditional narrative. And I also, I think there's more there. And I think the investigation seems to have been held back. And I don't think we have the full story.
Understood. I just want to kind of, I guess, make a point on that to close out all of this. And then, and I'm not asking you to agree, but I feel like I need to say it. As we in the conservative movement are divided on just about everything these days, and we're divided on this.
I don't even want to play his part. He's literally going to say, I think everybody's going to be wrong and the original narrative is going to be true. And everybody's going to be wrong about all of these different questions. I guess I should play it for context.
Divided on Charlie Kirk. And I'm generalizing here. It seems like the split is happening, you know, MAGA, America first. I think MAGA is not really objecting to the narrative of what we're being told about Charlie's murder. America First is asking a lot of questions and expressing a great deal of skepticism. I want to say this because I want people to understand that I'm very much my own person. I think America First is making a mistake here. And the reason why I want to express this is because the trial is, well, unless he takes a plea, in all likelihood, I hope he goes to trial, because I hope as much evidence comes out as possible.
Should all be public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that when we see the evidence, I believe it's going to be pretty irrefutable that exactly what happened. And I don't think it's going to be what a lot of people on the America First side think that it is. And my concern is that we have a lot of energy right now and a lot of momentum, I believe, especially going into 27 and going into 20.
Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares about your momentum in the midterms and nobody gives a freak, bro. That's the problem I have with these people. They try to just the next thing. Oh man, we got to protect the conservative movement. We got to protect the Republican Party. Nobody gives a freak about any of that, bro. All of that's fake as hell. None of that. Charlie died, and the people who had something to do with it, in my opinion, are his own people. The conservative movement, the Republicans. I mean, I wouldn't even say that. It's all a uniparty. But the very people he defended and talked about every single day don't give a freak about what happened to Charlie. So respectfully, shut up. I don't care. Charlie looked at Trump like a second dad. They always talk about Charlie was the second son. Don Jr. All of these people turn their back on Charlie, and Charlie begged to be just close with them and be cool with them, and they all turn their back on him. They all turn their back on him.
28 to possibly create something new and build some real change in this country that is sorely needed. And I would hate to see some of the best voices that we have right now be discredited in such a tremendous way. And so I would like to encourage people to be thoughtful about that, because again, not asking you to agree, but in my opinion, this is one that I think a lot of people are going to get wrong. And I think it could have some far-reaching consequences about people's credibility.
Yeah, I just haven't waded into it. However, there's just a lot there that's very questionable. The way his team.
Now remember, I ain't gonna say that.
Reacted so quickly, pulling out SD cards. That's very questionable. The way his team reacted so quickly, pulling out SD cards, just going around collecting so much equipment and evidence as Charlie Kirk is bleeding out. And then paving over the area literally 2 days later. There's just a lot of
you have opinions. Come on.
I do. Well, I'm saying they're questionable.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm not on social. You won't find me on social media debating these things.
Understood.
Because guess what? I wasn't at the crime scene. I wasn't there. I wasn't an eyewitness. I'm not in the courtroom. So I'm not saying that I'm an authority on the matter, but I do question a lot of things. And I think it'd be ridiculous for anyone to not question. At this point, where we are in our history, to not question things is, I would consider that unintelligent. But you know what? I was one of those people early on. I'm like, I'm not getting the vaccine. This is bullshit. We shouldn't be shutting down our country for COVID. I was one of those early people fighting on all those issues. So it's in my nature to question things. Ironically, Brandon,
which I support.
Yeah. And pretty much everything I've questioned has turned out to be right about what I questioned it about.
Fair enough. I hope you're all enjoying.
Yep. So you better listen to it, Brandon. My biggest thing though is she knows something is off, but this again is another person that's like, I don't want to say anything and I don't want to weigh in on it because of the Kirk family and because of this, because of that, because of this. And that's the issue I have, bro. That's the issue I have with a lot of these people. It's a trend, you know. You got her who has a high influential position that she can come out and just say the same stuff. You just said all of that. You can do the same thing on your own platform and just say, bro, what? I was super close with Charlie. I was super close with his family. Okay, cool. Well, you question these things. That isn't disrespecting Erica. What happened to your husband doesn't make any sense. Why would that make me somehow a person that doesn't love you? It's literally the opposite. But you got people like this and people like Tucker, and I'm going to bring them up every time, and other people as well that are in these heavy influential positions that don't say anything, but they know everything is off. That is a problem, bro. That is a problem. Because we could be so far down the road in this case, if we had people with those platforms that have these insides to the government, and everybody knows that when they say something, they're going to be looked at, like Tucker Carlson. If they were to come out and just start putting a little attention on the Charlie Kirk investigation, you ain't got to jump and dive into all the things. You don't got to jump and dive into all of Erica's past. You can literally just jump and dive into what happened around that day, shortly after, everything related to the case. And it would draw so much attention. But no, here we are. Podcast, small YouTubers. The only person that's going to talk with a large platform is Candace. That's up there in the politics. It's insane, bro. But when she said that, I was like, do you know something is off? This whole time you knew all of this was off, and you just choosing not to weigh in on it? You don't like talking about it? I don't know, man. And she's one of those people that was there at that table with Tucker at the round table. That's what I'm saying. Like, all of these people are connected. She was in that picture. It was Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, Joe Kent, Thomas Massey. And all of them are saying the same thing. Maybe not necessarily Joe Kent. You know what I mean? He came out and he said what he could. But, you know, all of them essentially know a lot. It's insane. Don't forget, they're covering up for these files. They want us to forget. Man, that's why people got to, you know, we should be trusting each other more when it comes to information. Oh shoot. Please don't be a loud lightning strike. Okay, cool. People should be these people should be earning our trust, you know, every single day. They have to. Their entire platform is built on people going to them because they trust them. So yeah, every second, every chance, people should be like, nah, bro, you need to earn my trust right now. I need you on your platform talking about these things because this is what I care about. And I look up to you for information and insight. Y'all saw that lightning. Yeah, it's getting crazy. I'm in Charlotte, so like, I don't know. But I don't know, man. We'll see how this play out. The last thing I'm gonna pull up is, what was this? Let me see if anybody released, like, some announcement was supposed to happen tonight with Tucker Carlson and Joe Kent and everybody in that room. And I know they released the interview of all of them in that room. I think they released it on Tucker Carlson's website. Do y'all know anything? Has anybody heard? And maybe I got my days mixed up. Maybe it didn't happen today, but it said something was supposed to happen with Tucker Carlson and Joe Kent, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Thomas Massey. I don't see nothing though. Oh my Lord. Keep fighting for the e-files. Yeah, definitely need to bring that back up, because they definitely want us to forget about it. MAGA was betrayed. We all were. It's time for a new path. More tomorrow night at 6 p.m. So he dropped something, but it was just like a monologue. by himself, Tucker Carlson. So maybe that's what he's talking about, and we still got to wait a little bit more for. Yeah, because 4 hours ago, that was 6 p.m. He dropped "It's Time to Save America" on his YouTube page. So it's like a 1 hour and 40-minute, but it's just a monologue though. It's nobody. It's not the group together. So I don't know. I don't think I really want to listen to an hour and 40 minutes of Tucker Carlson because, like I said, I'm upset with him. I'm glad y'all seen the lightning too. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's perfect time, and it's 1 a.m. too. Man, I appreciate y'all for listening to this Yappisode tonight. Man, we had a lot of different things that we talked about for sure. A lot of things to get off my chest. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I definitely did. I know there's gonna be mixed emotions and feelings about everything we talked about tonight. But I mean, it's great conversations, and I'm glad that y'all engaged with it because I don't know. Those are the things that I love to do. I love talking about stuff like that. I love just bouncing ideas, perspectives, and opinions off each other. So I appreciate y'all for watching tonight. Please hit the like button before you get out of here. Or if you watch it on the replay crew, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel as well. We on the road to 26,000 subs now. And we're only beginning. Like it's only the beginning. We got so much more to do. So many more things to, continue to try to elevate the community. Soon, once, my son goes back to school, because you got back to school shopping and all that other stuff. Once he gets situated and gets whatever he wants for his back to school shopping, I'll be probably revamping my office because I'm a guy that I love like change. I do. I like things that look different. Like right now I have my monitor on this side of my desk when it used to be on this side of my desk. I just love, like, it's like a breath of fresh air. I just love new things. I love changing things around. It just feels different and it gets me excited. So you'll probably see me changing things around the office soon. As soon as he goes back to school, I'll probably be putting something else right here, putting some stuff here, not making it so bland. But I definitely appreciate y'all. I hope that, my fault. Please turn the notifications on because you need to be notified when we are about to go live, because times like tonight is why you need the notifications on. I'm still getting used to the new schedule and routine with my youngest son, with the newborn. And I'm also in the same mix. I am putting my oldest to sleep and trying to balance all of that. So just trying to balance and juggle 2 kids, and sleep schedules are not the same right now. So that's brand new to me. So please turn your notifications on, because you just never know when I might have it set for 9 and it might get shifted to 9:30 and it might get shifted to 10. It just all depends. But turn your notifications on so you be notified when we go live. And again, if you want to support the channel in any way, you can always go to any of these things right here at the bottom on the banners. You can follow me on TikTok at JShaw3, JDYapper1. Those are both my accounts, because there are also a lot of like fake stuff out there of my accounts, but those are my 2 TikTok accounts. JDYapper1 on X so that's the same thing as on buymeacoffee.com. Is also JDYapper1, but you can find me over there on X too. I do my best to it's hard to keep so many different platforms one person. So I try my best to when I see a follow, especially when I see it already says like follow back, meaning somebody's already following me. When I go through my feed and stuff, I try my best to follow back. I try my best. I know it probably seems like I don't. TikTok is extremely hard, very hard, because I don't even really go through. I just make my content. I make the video and I typically just post it and I don't even look at anything else. I might go through my For You page or something just to laugh. So, but it's hard to look at that. But I do my best, I swear, to follow back, especially on X. and stuff like that. So please support the channel in whatever way you want. If it's just watching, that's great, because I love everybody. I love the fact that we grow in this community. So I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a beautiful Wednesday night. I hope you have a great Thursday tomorrow. I love y'all, and I will see y'all on the next one.